I would like to enter for that mat. Dante's dodging that mat just like all of the ban lists. Sure enough, he's right. Dante can pull out of anything.
YugiNoNo.
King prepare. Alright guys, so congrats to Jacob Loongrath for winning this mat. These mat giveaways, of course, are sponsored by MetaMats, made by us, designed by you. And Jacob, if you're watching this, I need you to message me with your address so I can mail this mat to you. Now, this is a really cool Duelist Alliance mat, but I think the next mat I'm about to show you guys for the next giveaway might be the best mat that MetaMats has made. And that's saying a lot considering this has Zodiac on it. But as far as the borders and stuff goes, this mat is beautiful. It is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I love this mat. Apparently Dave from MetaMats worked with the Brotherhood. I think they designed this mat. But yeah, that is really cool that they worked together on this. Like I said, this mat is gorgeous. It is soft. It is super soft. The material is perfect. The borders are amazing. I love these borders on here. They're just great. And there are Zodiac monsters on each side of it. And this is a 2-player mat, of course. It is just sick. It is just way sick. And this is the next mat I'm going to be giving away. So to enter in the giveaway, all you have to do is dick slap the like button on this video. And then go to my Facebook page and comment on the thumbnail to this video on the Facebook page. And that is it. That's all you have to do to enter to win this mat. And if you guys really want this mat and you don't want to chance it, trying to win it, then you can purchase this mat on metamats.com. I will keep using my Yugi Jesus powers to keep these mat giveaways coming for you guys because I love my fans, my Yugi Bros. I have the best fans in the whole world. And now that I have covered all the mat stuff, I have a really interesting video for you guys and I hope that you enjoy it. So I've been wanting to make this series for a little while now actually, and the new Mega Capital G video inspired me to finally get off my ass and start it. This series is Forgotten Cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! In this series I will be going over a lot of old cards that have faded from memory and analyze how good they could possibly be in the current metagame and or speculate if they can be used in the future. So in Cap's new video, he brought up a forgotten card that has actually been on my list, but Cap G beat me to it, damn it. But the card that he brought up is Summon Limit, which limits your opponent to only 2 summons per turn. Makes sense by the name, right? Wait, Konami got something right? Gold star! Anyways though, this card does have the awesome potential to be an anti-meta floodgate card in many different decks. As he brought up, this will floodgate Brilliant Fusion, Wind Witches, etc. Even though he beat me to the punch talking about this card, I have to give credit where credit is due and bury my salts deep down inside. The next card on my list of forgotten cards though is a card called Scary Moth.
We've all heard of this card.
So why this card is so interesting is because it was literally El Shaddai Window before Window was cool. This moth is hipster as hell.
Chuck Taylor's.
This card's effect states that each player can only special summon a monster once per turn. So it should be pretty self-explanatory as to why this card has potential. But to the people that don't get it, let me explain why this card is so effective on paper. Because everyone special summons! Special summoning is literally the game now and is an oxymoron because there's nothing special about it anymore. Get it? Bad jokes aside though, like I said earlier, this card is a window that just has lower attack and isn't an extra deck monster. So yeah, it's a shittier window, but it's still a window. Limiting decks to only 1 special summon is very strong, and we saw that firsthand when Shaddolls came out. And Winda is still a very powerful card. But being realistic, as strong as Winda is, Shaddolls won't be broken again until Construct comes back.
Baby, come back!
Even though Scary Moth isn't an extra deck monster, it can still be summoned by ways other than tributing. You can special summon Scary Moth from the deck using Transmodify or Insect Imitation. The best card for this though is Insect Imitation by far, and that is because with Insect Imitation you can simply tribute Seraphonite after summoning that off of Brilliant Fusion, which is a 2-card combo that floodgates your opponent, but you really wouldn't want to waste a Seraphonite for that though. So what is a more effective way to make Scary Moth? Well, sadly, and to be honest, there really isn't one. Gigaplant used to be a good card, but it is way too slow in today's game, and if you want to tribute summon for Moth, your best bet is playing Monarchs, but with cards like Domain and Vanity's Fiend, Scary Moth would be really redundant. So Scary Moth is a forgotten Yu-Gi-Oh card with a great effect on paper, but when deck building you have no practical way to get the card fast enough. El Shaddai Winda and Summon Limit are still the better cards until we get Insect support that can get this card out a little bit faster. The next card I'm going to bring up in this episode is Extranet, and why I wanted to talk about this card is because Maxi is probably going to get banned soon. If you have no idea why Maxi is going to to get banned or even got hit in the first place, then you obviously have not played Yu-Gi-Oh in a very long time. Like I explained earlier, everyone's special summoned, so having a hand trap that lets you draw every time a monster is special summoned is just broken. And it has been broken in the game for a very long time, and most recently against a deck like Zodiac with one card Xyz that just keep coming, this card is even more broken. But once again, since Maxi is most likely going to get banned soon, Extra Net could very well become a valid replacement for that card. This is because Extra Net lets you draw a card for every monster your opponent summons from the extra deck. And with Link monsters out now and more Link support on the way, this card could become very powerful. Not to mention you can draw off of cards like Brilliant Fusion or Instant Fusion. Now, why I wanted to bring up this card in the same video as Scary Moth and Summit Limit is because this card takes the opposite approach, because it is way too cool. This card's kind of hipster too. But instead of limiting your opponent's summons, it lets you draw cards, which more or less makes your opponent take the Max C challenge.
I will haunt this game.
The only problem with this card versus Max C is that you need to go first for this card to really be effective, but that's the same problem with any floodgate really, and that includes Scary Moth and Summon Limit. Except unlike those cards, this card is a field spell that you can get off of terraforming. This makes it somewhat of a better card and could have more potential in anti-meta decks as a floodgate in upcoming formats. So not bad, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of these cards, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen these cards in your collections and have read them and have stashed them in your binders because you see the potential in them. I do the same thing. I see cards that have potential and I stash them away just waiting for them to be good, and that is really what inspired me to start this series, so I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope at the very least by making this video you guys will see the potential of certain cards in your collection and be able to find random really cool text that will innovate the game and make you a better player. But let me know what you think about this new series down in the comment section, and if you want it to continue, I will continue it, of course. I always make videos that you guys want to see, and as always guys, be sure to dick slap that like button and subscribe.
Subscribe.